welcome to this week's episode of 11 Aside. Kennedy, and I'm here with Uche and Tejo as usual. We've had some fun games this past week. Some surprising outcomes, some not so surprising outcomes. I think we should start with the most interesting one. Arsenal Liverpool, or Liverpool Arsenal, I really want to say it. Uche, what do you think of the game?
It's almost exactly how I expected it to be. I predicted 4-1, but I think Arsenal probably played better than I would have expected.
Better than you expected? What do you expect?
I expected us to be bamboozled. That's what I expected. Given the fact that Lacazette didn't start. I think it wasn't from the start we had 30 shots. We had several chances to score.
30 shots?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We had several chances to...
Shutouts in Liverpool?
Several chances to score.
Oh, yeah, I know Liverpool had a lot of shots. They had 25. I guess it kind of played out partly how I expected in terms of the scoreline, 3-1, but I didn't expect Arsenal to come in trying to sit back at Anfield because, well, it played out how I thought it would play out if they tried that.
I think it was a good tactic because
Yeah,
if Pepe had scored the goal 1-on-1,
Right.
we won't be saying what we're saying now. It would have been a
Right.
different outcome.
It would have been my outcome.
It would have
Would have been a tie. And what we'll be discussing right here is how brilliant the tactics Emery did.
I think it wasn't a bad tactic because
It was
if
a
Pepe had
good
scored the
move.
goal that he was meant to score, we would have sat back and countered,
Right.
which would have still been good. They might have scored us, but we'll have more chances to score.
Exactly.
That's what I feel.
lead.
Yeah, I think it was working until the goal from the corner kick, but the problem with the tactic, like I thought in the beginning, is all the ifs that we're saying here. If you don't score, if they score first,
Yeah.
and that's what happens, especially at a place like Anfield, Liverpool at home. But I just don't see how you can afford to sit back and expect that they won't score before you do that. I mean, I'll give Emery some props. I feel like
It was a bold move.
it was working for some time there, but the inevitable kind of happened. They scored, even if it was only from open play or some corner kick, but
Yeah.
it was to be expected. So when I saw them come out like that, nothing about what happened from then on surprised me. What surprised me is the chances Arsenal got in the first half and didn't put away. Pepe didn't put away his chances. Aubameyang wasn't looking very sharp. I would have preferred to see Lacazette start, but
So that's the issue.
I guess he was nursing an injury or something.
I saw the report of him nursing an injury, but I also saw a report somewhere, some tactics showing that, in the past 2 games that Arsenal has lost in Anfield, Lacazette actually hasn't been brilliant. He hasn't been able to get past the Liverpool defense.
Hasn't been brilliant. I don't think he even started the last one.
He did. He started the last one, and it wasn't good. So to an extent,
But
I can
I
understand why.
don't think it was because he wasn't brilliant. If it's matter of he wasn't brilliant, who else would you play there that would
That's the
have
thing.
brilliant?
The Pepe had the pace advantage over.
Yeah, but
Lacazette.
that's
So I
fine.
can understand why
Pepe
you
played
want
through
to
Pepe
run
played-
him behind. You start to
Yeah, but
run him
Pepe
behind the
played
defense.
through the right.
Yes.
But then why not play all three of them?
Then,
it's not like
Lacazette could have
That's the-
played.
If you had played all 3 of them, the tactics wouldn't have worked because
No,
he was trying to be defensive and play on
It's the same
counter-attack.
thing. Ceballos would have switched in from one of the midfielders.
That's the thing. Ceballos was playing defensive, right?
No, he was playing left, where Aubameyang normally plays.
On the team sheet, it said he was playing as a CAM.
No, but he was playing on the left wing. That's where he was.
He
Most
seemed
of the time.
to be there a lot of the time.
For me, I feel from Emery's point of view, it seemed to be a well thought plan. I mean, last couple of games he's gone with the same approach, 4-3-3, and Arsenal lost the game. So him switching up a little bit was something I saw coming. I saw a draw. I saw Arsenal coming in here to defense and play counter-attack football. I knew I was going to play them on the fast break, and they had to make a decision. Who are the 2 fastest attackers he can put in the game? Aubameyang and Pepe.
Yeah.
They're definitely two faster people than Lacazette. For you to get those chances, you need players who can get past the defense.
Last time we played at Anfield, he did the same thing. He didn't start Aubameyang. He didn't start Lacazette rather, and he came back to bite us eventually. That's the one mistake I feel like he made in that game. He shouldn't have. I mean, playing Willock is one thing, Ceballos is one thing, Guendouzi is one thing, but playing all three of them to me was just a mistake. You can't have a combination of all three of them facing opposition like Liverpool at the same time. Why have Torreira on the bench? Why have Lacazette on? I mean, I understand Lacazette being nursing an injury, but I feel like these are the kind of games you need to at least not lose in order to.
But the way I see it, why risk him playing and getting injured and further?
Well, in that case, why risk him at all? I understand that logic from
he
that.
He can play. To me, I feel it was.
I feel like if that's the concern, then don't put him in the game at all.
I feel he's not an injury, but he can play some minutes. I think that they put him in to get match fit. I don't see any tactics the coach was trying to do from 3-0 for us to win that game. I think he put him in that game for him to get match fit for other games.
I think the game was too intense for that kind of thing. Normally, I would understand that, but that game was way too intense to put somebody that's nursing an injury just for match fitness.
I mean, nursing an injury is different from you being injured. To me, Kante has been nursing an injury, but he still plays. I think for him to get match fit, that's where I look at it from.
I mean, it was a bold tactics change. It just shows how strong Liverpool are at Anfield. Either way you go about it, they're gonna win. It's hard to get a point from Anfield.
It was a nice tactic, but I feel it wasn't carried out well enough. Otherwise, it would have worked.
If those guys had finished their chances, Pepe and Aubameyang would have been a different issue.
Yeah, but that's
goes up.
There's a lot of ifs though. If we had Torreira on the pitch, maybe we would have been doing better and maybe we would have scored earlier. If we had Lacazette there, maybe he would have been the one to put away that chance. There's a lot of ways you can look at it, but anyway, another interesting match this past weekend: Man United versus Crystal Palace. That was, I guess it will probably shock most people, but what do you guys think about that one?
I think Crystal Palace came to play. They played their hearts out. They weren't letting up. They weren't scared at the fact that they were at Old Trafford. We give them chances to play the ball, and we were also unlucky. Man U was
chances to play the ball.
Yeah,
you guys had 72% of possession.
Yeah, there was a particular time in the match, beginning of second half, they had time on the ball. To
me, I don't think Man U did not just take their chances. I think they underestimated
That's what I mean. We gave them a chance to play the ball.
It's not really give them a chance to play the ball.
They had two solid chances.
If they give them a chance to play the ball, that means they would have had possession of the ball. They really didn't have possession of the ball. They just took their chances. And I think Man U underestimated them because maybe they came up from, we beat Chelsea for, we are home. So
they had 5 shots, 3 on target, and 2 of those turned out to be their goals. Whereas United had 22 shots and surprisingly 3 on target. I don't know how that happens, but I guess I'll chalk that up to Crystal Palace defending well. At a penalty that Rashford failed to convert. I mean, it was Rashford this time, right? It's getting a little bit confusing, actually. They seem to be doing a lot of fouling, Crystal Palace, so maybe that's kind of what's put United off. They're being very physical in the game. What's surprising though is their main man didn't really come to play, and somehow they still pulled it off. I feel like he's still a little bit jaded from his transfer situation, but Zaha definitely didn't look like the Zaha that I know.
Yeah, I mean, Man U they also had injuries in the game. We lost Luke Shaw at halftime. That was a loss.
We lost Marshall also.
We've lost Marshall now. Who's going to miss in the next? Both of them are going to miss in the next game week. And then, to be honest, I'd like to see what Olesesha is going to do. this week has been really dramatic for us. We lost Alexis Sanchez. We're on the verge of rolling out Chris Smalling and behind Daniel and Leave too. So
he doesn't have a lot of options really. This coming weekend, he's gonna have to put. Anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We'll get to that part.
I feel it's a busy week for United with the transfer window and with the injury situation. So this weekend will be, something to look forward to. The team is gonna feel there's gonna be something to look forward to for sure.
All right. Any other interesting games here you guys want to look at? I feel like
Newcastle surprised us too.
Newcastle, Tottenham. I wasn't too surprised, to be honest. I expected a draw in that game. I expected maybe a 1-1 draw.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't too surprised to see. Well, okay, wait, actually, that's not true. I expected Spurs to win, actually. I remember now. That was my prediction on NBCSN. Expected Spurs to win 2-0 or 2-1. But they haven't. When I say I'm not surprised, I mean, they haven't been too solid lately. Especially with the whole Eriksen issue. They've been looking very, very, very shaky. I don't see them doing very well this season unless Pochettino manages to fix something in the changing room.
He's come out a couple of times to say his dressing room is not, they're not focused. He needs the transfer window to be over with for everybody to be 100% into the season. Like, there's a lot of noises of Christian Eriksen leaving, and I think he's one of the biggest personalities in their team. Like, without him on the field, they would struggle as much as they would struggle without Kane.
But that's the problem, though. It seems like they struggle more without Eriksen than even without Kane.
Yeah.
Normally, a player like that would just be dropped until the transfer situation is settled, but they can't seem to string 3 passes together without him being on the pitch.
Yeah.
So what happens if he leaves? That's the big problem for them.
There's nobody who can fit into that role. So I hope he gets it sorted out. I like Pochettino. I believe in him. So I believe he's gonna come through eventually for sure.
Well, we'll see about that. What do you think?
I have nothing positive to say about Tottenham anyway. They are rivals, so it's good what's happening. I was shocked anyway for them to lose 1-0. Like you said, there's definitely something happening behind the scenes that we really don't know. Apart from Eriksen, I think there's something that's going on in the team because the team is too good.
They're missing their big players. So like Ali is still injured. Son just came.
Come on, they have players there to replace Ali. Look at their squad.
There are not so many players on that team that can replace Ali.
Are you kidding me?
Mora is miles better than
Mora is not as creative as Ali. He's not as.
When has the Ali created anything?
Ali is always creative.
How many assists did Ali have last season?
Mora is more of a forward striker.
How many assists?
There's Son there's Mora, there's Kane.
Son just come back. That's
what we're talking about.
When he played this game, though, didn't he?
We're talking about Son, Mora,
they are missing their creative
Kane,
people who are going to create chances for them.
Eriksen came in, they still did nothing.
Ali is not creating anything.
No.
Let me even just see, like, just out of curiosity, how many stats? I
expected better from them.
He had last season. I'm surprised it's up to 7.
I mean, he played a different role last season. If he didn't have that much.
So what exactly was he accomplishing?
If you check the season before that, it was better.
What was he accomplishing in this role?
He was a defensive midfielder.
Dele Alli was a defensive.
He was a defensive midfielder last season.
And how well did he do?
Ali was a defensive midfielder.
He played as a holding midfielder.
Come on.
He played deeper.
Come on, but not as a DM.
He played deeper role.
As
usual. As
if he played the deeper role, maybe as a CM, not as a DM.
Yeah, he wasn't playing.
He was never a DM.
He wasn't playing as attacking.
That's
on a normal day when Ali came into the Premier League, he
that's
always played behind the striker.
That's EM.
And that's where his best stats. Always played as.
If you say he was playing CM,
always got involved in the goals.
If you were saying he was playing CM, yes, but not DM. He was never a DM. He has never been a DM.
Holding midfielder last
He wasn't a holding midfielder. It's not possible.
I might not see him as this.
Yeah, Ted wasn't too involved in goals unlike 2 seasons ago or 2016.
But anyways, I haven't been really impressed with him the past 2 seasons, holding or not holding. Just because he's a holding midfielder doesn't mean he should be invisible.
He wasn't even in
Sissoko plays deep too, but we can see what he's contributing to the team. But anyways, two more interesting games this season. This week, Norwich versus Chelsea. That was really interesting. There were times where I thought Norwich they were gonna steal it, but Chelsea managed to get the better of them. Lampard finally got his first win. Mason Mount got another goal. It was nice. Abraham finally got off the line. I think he scored 2 goals in that game, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if he can keep it up or if Giroud is gonna take that spot from him. I feel like Lampard is planning to go with him as number one, but I guess he has to show what he's capable of. I guess. What do you guys think?
I feel he's going to get more shots at number 9 in the league than Giroud. If anything, Giroud will be more involved in the cup games. Lampard's role this season is to prepare the team for the transition. I mean, they're already in transition, so he's not going to rely much on a veteran striker. He's going to try to build the team and use the young boys.
Even if that means losing games.
To me, I don't know what Lampard's plan is. If I was him personally, I would start Giroud and bring in Abraham in to get the experience. To me, that's a better transition than depending on somebody so young, and if you lose games, you only fall back into I'm transitioning.
I mean,
so why do you have Giroud here if he's coming off the bench?
So Giroud is going to be more involved in the cup games.
But if he's clearly better, why bring him off the bench?
Giroud is not fit enough to play.
I feel like they made the same mistake.
If he's not fit enough to play competition, he doesn't have to play 90 minutes.
Doesn't even have to play every competition. Why not just play the Premier League? He was the highest goal scorer in the Europa League last season, but they kept giving him on the bench.
They're going to use him in Champions League. That is more important than the Premier League.
Yeah, they have no chance in Champions League.
How is that more important? They have no chance
that is more
of even getting past the round of 16. So why waste your resources there? What do you gain if you get eliminated from the group stage of the Champions League and then you finish 7th in the Premier League? What do you gain? That logic makes no sense to me, man. I don't know why they're doing that. Maybe last season that you could say that makes a little bit more sense. They felt like Higuain could do something in the league and they stood a chance of getting into the Champions League, which they did by winning the Europa League. But now, what's the point? I don't see the point. They're not going anywhere in the Champions League, let's be honest. I don't think they're going to get out of that group. Even if they do, they're not getting past the round of 16. They just don't have that quality. So why not use him in the Premier League?
For me, the sooner they figure out how to play the young players, the better for the team going forward. Giroud is a 32-year-old guy. In a year or two, anytime of the season, he can get injured. Abraham needs to be ready for that role. And if along the line, Abraham doesn't show he's capable to handle that role, maybe he will bring in another player in January or in the summer. But for now, it's the right thing to do for me. Play the young boys.
Even if they end up finishing in 8th place.
The likes of, even though it means finishing in 7th place, I mean, we don't know that yet.
And you mentioned the same thing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is doing.
He should believe in young players. And he has to do that.
Another thing
so many times
he doesn't have that option. Who is he going to replace the young players with? Who is he going to replace Rashford with? He doesn't have options. That's different from
that is more opportunities for the academy players. Many times they've been outshined by veterans who have come to the club and have not even laid their mark in there. So a different approach seems to be the only logical thing. If one thing doesn't work, you try the other end instead of forcing it. So,
but what is this one thing that didn't work? The only thing
the veterans.
The only thing they achieved last season was winning the Europa League, and that was because of Giroud. So clearly, he was working. So I don't understand. I don't know. To me, it makes no sense. We'll see what happens. We'll see if Abraham is able to find his scoring shoes or scoring boots. But there's also Man City, Bournemouth versus Man City, which they won 3-1. Interesting game. I think Man City was in control pretty much throughout the game. I think it was Harry Wilson that scored there, right? The free kick. Or was that the game before?
Oh yes. That must have been the game before. Or no, that was.
I think it was. Yeah, it was Harry Wilson. Scored right at halftime, free kick. Aguero got
I didn't
2
see that game.
goals. Sterling got 1.
Because I expected City to win and great. City.
It was always going to be a fun game, regardless of who won. I expected City to win. Actually, I expected them to win by more goals. I guess Bournemouth did well to deny them.
And some players were selfish. They
Yes.
want to pass the ball.
Some players are
Aguero.
definitely, some player I should say, was definitely selfish. I think I don't know. Personally, I don't like the attitude he brings to the team currently. The whole team seems to be gelled and working together to win the game. There's De Bruyne, there's the likes of Bernardo, who's already a team player, there's Sterling, and then there's Aguero, who seems to be thinking about his golden boot at the end of the season, as opposed to the team actually winning the league or winning the game that's at hand at the moment. What do you know? Any contribution?
Good game as far as I'm concerned. Aguero has found his scoring boots. 3 goals in 3 games. My question is, could this be the season Aguero finally gets his golden boot?
I mean, that's kind of a stretch, don't you think? To go from 3 goals in 3 games to you realize
That's not even going to happen.
You realize Sterling has 5 goals right now in the same number of games.
He's one of the highest. After Sterling, his 3 goals. It's 5-5.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you would conclude that we're getting golden boots as opposed to Sterling, who's already higher.
We could have made this debate the beginning of the season when he had 0 goals. Could this be the season Aguero's going to get his golden
Why?
boot?
Why would we have made that debate? I wouldn't have.
Aguero is getting
thought
old.
that.
It's something that is always been about to happen, if not for injuries hitting him here and there.
Yeah,
you know.
but he's the same guy, except he's older now, and he's going to get less chances to score. So what makes you feel like this finally the season he's going to get it?
I don't know if he's going to get less chances to score.
I think that's a stretch. I don't see him getting it.
Well,
Very big stretch.
I would love to see.
I don't think he's even.
I would love to see it happen.
He's not in the race
I
to me
don't
at
even
all.
see him being in the race.
It's Jesus is going to be coming in. To me, they're basically going to be playing 50-50. 50% of the games. Him and Jesus is going to share.
I won't quite say 50-50, more like 60-40.
Yeah.
I feel like if Jesus was fit, he'd be starting this game.
Jesus?
Yeah.
Jesus is playing 60%.
No, 40%.
No, I think it'll be 50-50. I think Jesus might even play more
I
because
think Aguero still has
Aguero, they'll probably use Aguero more in the cups. But in the Premier League, I feel Jesus will play more.
I think Jesus will probably get to play more in the Champions League.
No, I think Aguero is
But
Champions
Aguero will
League.
get the nod more times in Premier League. That's what I'm thinking he'll do.
I disagree with that.
I'm not entirely sure that that's what Pep wants to do or that's what he would do ideally, but I feel like Aguero is still seen as that main man at City, and he still has, I don't want to say he still has the pull at the club so much so that Pep cannot just push him out of the way completely. He still will get a lot of game time, but I think he will share a lot of it with Jesus as well. And if Jesus manages to do better, then who knows? That 60-40 might flip the other way. But okay, I guess that's it for this past week's games. There are other games, of course, but none of them really stand out much. Aston Villa beat Everton 2-0. I didn't see that coming. But Everton too have been on the game with me. What do you guys think of next week's games? Apart from the obvious game, do any others kind of stand out? I think Southampton versus Man United would be interesting. It would be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer adapts. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's probably going to come out Rashford up top. I mean, it's not like he has many other options. They're probably going to come out Rashford up top. If he decides to play a front 3, he might have Greenwood.
I was surprised if Greenwood plays actually. I think if for a better squad to put out, we play Mata.
Oh yeah, there's Mata there. Sometimes I forget he's still there. There's Mata there.
Because you need more creativity, and I think that was probably part of the problem in the last game.
Yeah, I question why he
There was no creativity.
hasn't brought Mata in yet even.
I think you switch Mata to the right. I don't know whether Lingard. Did Lingard play in the last game?
James usually.
Or was it James?
James usually over.
James can play on the left.
James will play on the left, yeah.
But
While Mata
he
plays on
play
the
that
right.
Yeah,
If you can play on the right, why can't you
I
play
feel
on
like
the
as OGS, James seems to be doing all right there right now. Personally, if I was the manager, I would not move him from that.
I don't think Mata plays best from the left wing.
He doesn't. He plays better on the right.
So
but I think I would rather not rock the boat and leave James where he is.
Either way, I think they need more creativity in that team. So I think Mata should be starting.
Yeah, with the quality right now or lack thereof, I think he definitely should be getting more game time. I mean, they actually brought Greenwood on last time. Why not Mata instead? I don't understand that, but I guess like you said, they're trying to give youngsters a chance and all that. But at the end of the day, you still have to win games. You still have to get points.
Yeah.
Another interesting game for me is Man City Brighton. I want to see how many goals Man City will score.
That one looks like it could easily turn out to be 5-0.
And Burnley
I
Liverpool.
would be surprised. Burnley Liverpool, I think, will be closer. I'm probably seeing 3-1 for that game. I'm seeing a 3-1 scoreline. What do you guys think about Southampton Man United predictions?
From the Man U one, let's start from you.
Let me guess 3-0.
That's my prediction.
No, I'm guessing that's your own.
Guess my prediction. Say your prediction.
You start, bro.
Man.
You go first. I'll go next.
Honestly, I feel Southampton at home. They won last game. They're full of confidence. We had to keep a clean sheet. I would love that to happen. So I see them making a goal, and my going 2 goals up. So 2-1.
Okay.
Even the smirk in your face shows you're not confident.
I always smirk.
Well, I feel like so far I've been too optimistic with Man United, and that's why my predictions have been wrong so far where Man U is concerned. I'm going to predict Southampton wins 2-1. I think it's going to be a tough game for Man U. They're finding it hard to score goals already with Martial out. I'm not sure which way to swing yet. It will either be harder for them to score goals, or surprisingly, Rashford might step up and actually put away more chances than Martial. I would not be surprised if that happens. But off the top of my head, I predict that they'll find it harder to score goals, and Southampton is going to give them some trouble. De Gea is not looking in top form at all. Shaw is out, which means you're back to Young, your makeshift left back / right back / any other available position. So I don't know. I feel like you're gonna have a lot of problems, especially down that left wing. I can see Southampton just making it 2-1 or a 2-2 draw. Jay, what do you think?
I'm predicting a draw. 1-1. That's what I said. I think Southampton should take the lead, as we said, and Man U tries to come back to score. If they can't, Southampton will win, but I'm still predicting a draw.
Alright. What about the Man City Brighton game? What's your prediction?
I'm hoping Man City, for the first time, keeps a clean sheet. My prediction will be 4-0. 4-0.
Yeah, I see them keeping a clean sheet on this one because I can't for life of me come up with anybody on Brighton that's going to give them more trouble. If they concede a goal, it'll probably be from the set piece, but even those they're pretty solid with. And I don't know. I think Sterling is going to want to score more goals than Son. Mahrez is likely to start this game. He's probably going to want some more goals too. I'm predicting 5-0 to Man City.
Say 3-0. 3-0.
Alright. So now to the big game, most important game this weekend, Arsenal Tottenham. What do you think?
Yeah, Arsenal's gonna win. 3-1. Tottenham transition in that, obviously. lost the game, obviously, but this time they're gonna be at home. Hopefully we'll have Lacazette back in the lineup. But this one, it's gonna be a tough game, but I see leading towards Arsenal's end more. So 3-1.
I think this game is going to surprise a lot of people. On one hand, Arsenal has not lost this fixture in I don't know how long, probably the last 5 or 6 or 7. We haven't lost this fixture. We've won most of them in recent seasons. On the other hand, I think this might be the game that finally jumpstarts Spurs to come back to their senses. It has the kind of passion to get them interested in the game. I believe this game, both Lacazette and Eriksen are going to start. I think they're going to throw out all that transfer stuff out the window, and Eriksen is going to start. Lacazette, this might be what Emery has been saving him for. I definitely see him starting this game. I think it's too important a game, especially to the fans and the club as a whole, for him to play with at this point. I see us starting our best front three of Lacazette, Aubameyang, and Pepe. I'm seeing probably maybe Mesut Ozil starting as well. Hopefully, I'm hoping Ceballos will start in place of Ozil. Maybe we have Xhaka and Torreira in the middle. I can definitely see this going Arsenal's way, but I think it's going to be closer than people think. I'm thinking Arsenal win it 3-2. What do you think, Uche?
I think it's going to either be 2 ways. I'm seeing either a draw or a big win for Arsenal. The way I see it, if Arsenal comes out to play their game, they're going to score first. I feel if Arsenal scores first, the game is going to end have at least 2 to 3 goals difference. Because Arsenal is going to sit back and Tottenham is going to be pressing, and if Lacazette, Aubameyang and Pepe all start, then it's going to be trouble for Spurs. On the other hand, if Tottenham should score first, it's going to make it harder because we won't have any threat for counter. All we play is a passing game, and maybe we'll try and equalize. That's my.
I think that'll be different with if we start our strongest 11. I think that would definitely change things.
I think it just boils down to who scores first. If Arsenal scores first and we sit back and counter, then we can let the floodgates open. The way I say it. But if Spurs score first and they sit back, there won't be any counter anymore. What we'll be doing, we're trying to pass. After we get frustrated with passing, we're trying to crossing the ball.
Spurs can counter too.
Exactly. So it can go 2 ways.
I think if we start our strongest 11, we have the quality to deal with that kind of thing.
Yeah, but what's our strongest 11? Ozil with there?
I think Ozil or Ceballos, either way, if we start, those two can interchange for each other, I think. But Ceballos, in my mind, is definitely in that strongest 11, one way or the other. I don't really see Spurs as that dangerous counter-attacking, to be honest, when Kane is on the pitch.
I think it's dangerous.
If they're playing
because
if they're playing Son and Mora, then yes.
Yeah, but Kane, most times I watch Kane play Arsenal, he basically sits back to the middle of the touchline and holds the ball and looks for Lucas or Son. That's the way I see it. And if we're not careful, if we come out too much, especially if we concede and try and look for a goal, Son and Mora can punish us badly.
They can't both play at the same time as Kane being on the pitch, at least with their current tactics.
Son and Mora?
Unless Pochettino.
Why not? Who's going to play on the left?
He doesn't start all 3 of them. At least he hasn't been so far.
Who knows?
He might decide to change something.
Exactly, because they need fast guys also to counter our own fast guys.
Play too.
Lamela has been playing.
But Lamela plays.
I'm more worried
towards the middle than he starts on the right, but he drifts into the middle a lot. So I don't think he's the one to.
I'm more worried about Son and Mora than Kane, to be honest.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, I know.
But you need someone to hold. Obviously,
if both of them are on the pitch, then I'll be more worried.
Yeah, that's where my worry
They
comes
set
from.
up the way they've been setting up the past 2 games or last 3 games.
But knowing Pochettino, we know he's not going to do that.
Probably not. I mean, Kane hasn't exactly been on this game, but one thing I can assure you is Kane is going to be on that pitch. And to me, that's, I don't know. Like I said, this might be the game where a lot of Spurs players decide to wake up. Kane and Eriksen could just, I mean, not that Eriksen has been asleep, but they could both really affect that game. I'm hoping that Kane does not pick this game to wake up this season, but I don't really perceive him as much as a threat as I do Son and Mora at the moment. So I'm not too worried about their counterattacks. I think we're better at that game at the moment, especially with Pepe coming in too. I think if they decide to sit back, they'll only be harming themselves. And there's a lot going on in that team. Even Vertonghen isn't playing at the moment. I don't know why. I don't think he's injured. I don't know if he has an issue with the manager or something. But we'll see what happens. What other games? Leicester, Bournemouth could be very interesting. Everton, Wolves. Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. I'm sorry, Aston Villa is an interesting team to watch. I don't know how that happened, but it seems they've picked up a lot of steam from the championship.
I think you like the fixtures from this game week.
Yeah, this would be an interesting one.
So,
What do you guys think about Leicester, Bournemouth?
I see Leicester winning.
I'm not sure about that. I think this kind of game that Leicester might get a red card. I don't know. I just have that feeling, and it changes the whole game. It happened before last season.
Was it Vardy?
I'm not sure who had it. I'm not even sure if it's the same team. But there are some teams like this that you say, oh, Leicester should win it. But something can just happen and Bournemouth scored 4 goals. This has happened before. To me, that game is unpredictable. Anybody can win that time.
Tough one to predict.
Anybody can win that time. Anything can change it.
The way Bournemouth has been playing, I see Leicester winning that one, especially with Bournemouth. They're both load of injuries.
But that's the problem.
I see Leicester coming away with that one, maybe 3-1. I'm thinking. But
I think Bournemouth wins that game anyway.
there's also Everton Wolves. What do you guys think of that?
Both teams have struggled with getting goals too.
Everton and Wolves.
Yeah, they've struggled to score in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think Wolves are very distracted at the moment with European football. Yeah, but it seems to be affecting Wolves more. I think Everton have dealt with it more with depth, in terms of depth anyways. I can see Everton winning that game, surprisingly, even though they've been off form lately. I haven't seen much from Wolves, to be honest. But I can't even think of a scoreline for that game.
I think, for me, I think it's going to end as a draw.
Yeah, if I was going to bet on that, I'd probably bet 1-1. Joe, what do you think?
What game is that?
Everton Wolves.
Another unpredictable game. If anything, I'll say Wolves will win the game. Everything has been struggling to score goals and.
So the Wolves are going to struggle too.
Yes, but when you look at the other games they play in the Premiership, they score goals.
Yeah,
that's true.
So
but this is back to Premiership where they're struggling.
Yeah, but
I think that problem has more to do with fatigue than build up play.
Yeah, but they have no excuse though. Richarlison looks like a shadow of himself.
They got goals this week too.
He scored?
Same way they struggle in the league.
Richarlison scored?
Yeah, he scored in Carabao Cup this week. Iwobi scored.
We'll see.
Scored.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
We'll see how
it's a little bit different playing below par position Carabao Cup versus Wolves scoring 8 goals in the European game.
You could have said that team could have been below par.
I mean,
my mind is watching how both teams transition.
It's different comparing a team that's in European competition to a team that's in a lower league. Even those are two completely different.
You can say that.
Proposition.
I would like to see how they will bring their form into the league.
Anyway, the table is looking interesting right now. Liverpool on top, 9 points. We've gotten all 9 of their points. City falling behind with 7. Arsenal at 6, Leicester at 5, United at 4, Burnley at 4, Spurs 4, Brighton 4, Sheffield, a whole bunch of clubs in 4 apparently. Liverpool and City are already banging in the goals, 9 and 10 each. Conceding 3 each. Wow, the race is gonna be intense this season. I might revise my position of seeing City win it though, because I don't know, Liverpool seem to be kicking it in gear now. But we'll see what happens. This weekend should be pretty interesting. After this, the International Gameweek, which everybody loves to hate. But I don't know. I think this season is gonna be a fun one altogether. There's a nice fixtures coming up, and we'll see what happens with the North London Derby this weekend. Who do you guys think is going to score in that game? Any big names scoring? Arsenal, Spurs.
I know Kane is going to score for sure.
You know Kane.
I know Kane is going to show. Harry Kane! That's what I'm going to hear. You remember that?
I think for me, Pepe scores his first goal in the Premiership.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think a defender also scores. I don't know who yet, but I think a defender scores. I don't think so. I was going towards the Brazilian. What's his name?
Harry Kane always scores. He loves scoring Arsenal. Remember that goal he scored from the edge of the box? The finesse.
What goal?
The match that ended 2-2. 2015, Arsenal.
I don't remember.
Arsenal Spurs.
It's a long ass time ago.
Aubameyang loves scoring them.
So that's Kane.
Lacazette loves scoring them.
I mean, Aubameyang more. I think both Aubameyang and Kane will get goals in this game. If both teams are gonna score, Aubameyang will get on the score sheet. Kane will get on the score sheet.
Well, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I feel like Aubameyang is gonna get a goal. Aubameyang and Pepe are gonna get goals.
I just hope the referee doesn't spoil the game and VAR.
Who's the ref?
Spoil the game. I don't know.
Yeah, they need to pick a proper ref for that. I don't want to see all these. Who's that guy again?
I think the referee that did Manu's game.
They should just put.
Washed up guy, man.
They should just put Oliver, please. Because I don't even trust all the other refs. All those guys are some funny characters. Who's going to be the referee? When do you even find this stuff? Let's see. It's great news for Kane. What does that mean? Martin Atkinson is gonna be the ref. I remember that name, but I'm not sure what it is exactly.
Things are wrapping up.
Anyway, we'll see what happens this weekend. We'll catch you guys next week. Until then, feel free to hit like and subscribe, and enjoy the games this weekend.
Peace.